The Chinese government has been promoting TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, internationally, and some milestones have been achieved so far. Decades ago, Chinese pharmaceutical chemist Tu Youyou discovered artemisinin, an active compound of sweet wormwood, which has been widely used in anti-malarial drugs throughout the world. And only in 2015 did the discovery landed her a Nobel Prize. Despite the progress, there are still skeptics claiming TCM is a backward approach to wellness and is hardly science. Today we may hear a different voice from an Asian American. What's his story and how does TCM fit into a Western context? Joining me from Las Vegas is Karl Yune, actor and health expert, and also the co-founder of Star Maker Labs, a premium wellness brand dedicated to empowering people to live happy and healthy lives. Karl, thank you very much for joining us. Now, you acted in several films. Also, you are promoting TCM. These are two quite different paths. What prompted you to pursue the dual dream, and what does each of these two careers mean to you?
Well, I come from 3 generations of traditional Chinese medicinal practitioners, including my own mother and father. We've had a clinic practice for over 40 years, and so I have seen too many cases of healing in people who have lived a lifetime of suffering or I wouldn't say failed treatment, but living under the treatment of Western medicine for many years, and after coming into the practice, experiencing traditional Chinese medicine, being healed.
Mm-hmm. Well, traditional Chinese medicine to the Chinese sounds very natural, but to many foreigners, especially Westerners, it is not something that they grow up with. So how do you see the perceived pros and cons, or the actual pros and cons of traditional Chinese medicine compared with Western medicine?
Okay, well, Western medicine is superior and excellent in the treatment of acute trauma and maybe even acute chronic pain. Whereas Eastern medicine specializes in the enhancement of health, and Western medicine specializes in the treatment of disease. So those are the two distinct differences. One is preventative enhancement and health specialty. One is the treatment of disease.
Can these two be combined, however, when you're talking about the Western medicine in its advantage of treating acute chronic pain or acute symptoms of a disease, and traditional Chinese medicine being more on the preventive side? Can these two be combined?
Well, Eastern medicine is excellent at preventative medicine and health enhancement, but it also complements the healing process, that's where the enhancement of health comes in. The healing process after, for example, surgery, or let's say someone is going through treatment for a disease such as cancer or heart disease. It's very complementary to Western medicine because healing is a part of the medicine. That's everything. I
see, fair enough. As I said, the traditional Chinese medicine is being more and more recognized, for instance, by public health communities, represented, for instance, by the World Health Organization, and also the awarding of the Nobel Prize to a Chinese pharmaceutical chemist, Ms. Tu Youyou. Yet there is still a long way to go before traditional Chinese or Eastern theory and practice can win greater acceptance in world medical circles, and some people claim that it's a backward approach to wellness and is not science. What is your view?
Well, there's been numerous scientific studies utilizing, again, the fundamentals of energetic healing. For example, in migraines, there was a recent Canadian study where several sufferers of lifelong chronic migraine headaches who were found basically by Western science to have inflamed brains. And What they did was they literally nailed an electrode into the brain and stimulated it with electric energy or energetic frequency. And the inflammation went down and the lifelong migraines disappeared. So at the end of the day, it just has to be recognized more, and you know, I think finance will see the value in the end.
Well, that's great news, because for someone who suffers migraine from time to time, and so far I haven't had any effective method to curb that, hearing that traditional Chinese medicine can help me instead of relying on painkiller, that's great news. But how do you look at the kind of culture as well, that because, for instance, in the United States, people are so used to taking painkillers to cure their symptoms, their pain, instead of finding the more chronic, long-term ways to address the root causes of that symptom, for instance, the inflammation you were talking about. How do you see the changes that need to be made in that regard?
Well, I could go into a whole health consultation right now, but the fact is that almost all disease begins with inflammation, and traditional Chinese medicine recognizes and understands that inflammation is caused due to a lack of energetic frequency to that particular body area. And that could be caused to mental, emotional, as well as physiological issues, which can be perfectly addressed with Western medicine.
Okay. What is the role of traditional Chinese medicine here?
The physiological blockages that may cause the energy to not be flowing to that particular issue of the body. Western medicine, sometimes with surgery, can alleviate that problem. But overall, most of the time, it's just about stimulating the energy. Traditional Chinese medicine is the entire basis of it is all about understanding the meridian and the pathway flow of energy in the body. We all have a magnetic field. The Earth has a magnetic field. Everything in the universe has a magnetic field, and so do we. This is the thing that traditional Chinese medicine understands, and that's what it incorporates for healing. So most of the time, it can be prevented or treated early on.
I understand. However, as you can tell, and as I could see, that as we explain these fundamental, even a little bit philosophical side of things, it starts to get a little bit hard to understand. I don't know whether that is the perception that you also get when you try to explain the theory, the workings of traditional Chinese medicine to your Western patients. What do you think is the biggest challenge for TCM really to go global, to complement the Western ways of treating our body?
Funding, finance, and understanding that this is a business.
Would you want to elaborate a little bit about that? You wouldn't talk about the... Yeah.
Basically, insurance companies will need to start seeing that there's more and more acceptance of patients wanting alternative health treatment, and that there's more and more practitioners of this alternative health treatment in the different realms of traditional Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine philosophy.
Okay. Are you going to bring...
And that's happening. Insurance...
Yes, go ahead, please. Finish your sentence, please.
And that is happening. Insurance companies, major insurance companies, are seeing that you know, this is more widely accepted at this point.
And with that, we come to the end of this edition of The Point with me, Liu Xin. As always, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter using the handle The Point with LX. Download the application called CGTN to watch the show on your mobile devices, or go to YouTube and look for CGTN The Point. Thanks for watching. You've got the point.